servant, so you know exactly what you're here to do as a servant of the Lord. You've been called for a responsibility. You've been called for an obligation. You've been called for a heritage that needs service, that needs to be attended unto. All right. So the Hebrew word for minister is sharah, and it's the H8334. All right. And then when you look in the etymology line, minister, all right, it could be a verb or a noun. So I'm just going to get a verb because the elder talk about Acts, the book of Acts, okay? So definition to perform religious rites. So the key word that comes to mind is the priesthoods, all right? Then it says to provide religious services, all right? And then it says to serve, render service, aid, medicine, furnish means of relief or remedy. All right. So the elder also talked about service a while back, almost an hour ago. So that's just let you know that the Spirit of the Lord is working with the elder right here. It's a quite Monaghan, you know, because the Spirit of the Lord moves. Okay, so you got to know exactly that this is not a joke. When the Spirit of the Lord jumps upon you, you're going to know that every action you take in this ministry requires your attention, and you're going to have the signs to confirm that you're doing the right thing, as well as the wrong thing too, because you have to be checked in spirit. The master has to check the servant to make sure the servant is on the right page. All right. So I need a brother. Let me see. Abadiba. Give me Jeremiah 33 and 22. The water. Give me Joshua 24 and 15. Isaiah 55 and 6. And then the 9. Romans 12 and 1. Naaman, Isaiah 26 and 8.
I got Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 22. It says, as the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sands of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David my servant and the Levites that minister unto me.
That's what it's all about. Come to serve the Lord, you have to take on the responsibility of a king and a priest. So you're feeling yourself with a huge challenge. So you know exactly what you're supposed to do because the blueprint has been put before you. So you have a reference guide to go with. All right. So you know exactly what it takes to be a leader, or what also it takes to be a servant of the Lord. So you have to know that you have to be responsible. You have to take accountability for your actions because people are looking up to the king and people are also looking up to the priesthood. All right. So they are both shepherds. You got different responsibilities. So you as a servant of the Lord, you've been put in that position to take on a huge responsibility. So remember that. It's no joke, you know, to come serve the Lord. So you have to accept the challenge to step up. The Lord told us that, a nation of kings and priests. So the Lord gave you a hint of what's going to be taking place in the future. All right. So who's got Joshua?
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 24 and verse 15. It says, and if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the God of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
That's right. That's the point. So remember that Habayat of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Ashab Bashim Kakadash, the body is all about serving the Lord. So you know exactly what you're supposed to do. We don't have to keep on reminding you. All right, you're supposed to be a walking monument, a walking remembrance of your obligation, of what you signed up to be, all right? So don't make your work complicated. The work of the king, the work of the priest is not complicated. It's easy and straightforward, all right? So Isaiah 56 and 6, who got it?
26 and 6.
56 and 6.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 6. And it says, also the sons of the strangers that joined themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and taketh hold of my covenant.
That's what it is. Remember that. I'll read it to you, just like you did. Okay. Isaiah 56, verse 6. Also, the sons of the stranger that joined themselves to the Lord Yahweh to serve him, and also to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant. So that's exactly what we do here. You know, every Saturday, every weekday, during our private times, when you make lessons, you're basically practicing exactly what this precept just described, okay? So you have to know that your works are a reflection of what the Lord has set in the scriptures for you to do, all right? So Romans 12 and 1, who got that?
This is Romans 12, verse 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
That's all it is. He said the service is what? It's reasonable. It's something that you can understand. It's not something complicated. It's not something that can confound you. You know exactly the reason why you were given the service in the first place. You know exactly what the results will be. So why don't you just accept it and go along with it? The servant is looking for a reward. The servant is looking to the master to get results after the end of the service. You know, so that's all it is. We're looking forward to get that penny, to get that salvation, to get the rulership, you know, to see the downfall of our enemy and the rise of the elect. We're looking forward to what? The kingdom set on the face of the earth. You know, we're looking forward to serving the Lord in spirit and in truth. You know, it's challenging now, but in the future it's not going to be challenging. It's going to be easy. When you have the laws written in your inward parts, there's no need for you to be referring back to the book, thinking about your reasonable service. All right, so all that is going to be easy for you in the future. And then the final precept,
Isaiah chapter 26, verse 8. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Most High Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee.
and that's what it is. That's our focus. Remember that. We have no other option but to serve the Lord. This is the only plan we have, all right? So I'm going to go to the blue letter. So like, you know, take a little bit longer, but this is very important to my heart, to all of us, okay? So Jeremiah 33 and 22, I'm just going to read a couple of keywords from the blue letter, okay? So when you pull up the word for minister, you're going to see a couple of keywords there. It says to serve, to be a servant, service, servitor, waited. Just like you go to a restaurant to go eat, you have a waiter, all right? So Scripture talk about waiting upon the Lord. As a servant, the servant has to watch. What's the servant watching for? He's waiting for the return of his Lord. He's looking for signs of things to come, you know? So it says what? When you go into the Brown Driver Briggs Lexicon, it says ministry. When it says minister, and then what else does it say? It's just that simple. Let me go to the Strong's definition. All right. So the Hebrew word there is sharaf. Then it says to attend as a menial or worshiper. All right. Figuratively, to contribute to. Minister, serve, wait on. So that's exactly what we're doing. So don't think that your service is not worth it. Think of it as something important that you've been called to do. All right. So do not make your life complicated by thinking that you're beyond serving the Lord. You got to be humble to understand what it means, you know, to be on top at the end. So that's the whole point about being a minister. So I know you talk about you know, Psalms, you know, during the sec. I just say, you know what, I just get Psalm 51 verse 13. It says, then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. All right. So the job of the priest is to teach the congregation exactly what the Lord expects of them. Okay. So in the last one, Kodash, Alamadha, Pasayam, Darak, Yaka, Wakatayam, Ayaka, Yashabya. All right. I will teach Alamadha, transgressors, Pasayam, thy ways, Darak, Yaka, and sinners, Wakatayam, unto thee, Ayaka, shall be converted, Yashawabia.
Hey, Barakatay, how about Shema And then, what letter are we on? Was it 12?
12.
Letter 12? Yeah, you gotta go up to 12.
All right. Abba, Gada.
Oh, slow, Zamar.
Salaki.
Take it slow, bro.
Salaki, you know, the service. Abba, Gada, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La,
There you go.
Ma.
Yeah. That's it, right? Yeah. One more time, louder.
Abba, Gada, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma.
There you go. That's 12. Yeah, and then next week, the elder brother Kasak was on deck. All right, hey, Barakatay, how about Shema All right, go ahead,
The Sabbath, of course, is tonight, Saturday into Sunday, and then it changes over to the new moon, Sunday to Monday. All right, I got you, Kazak, but you ain't got to come up. All right, so we're also in the feast of what? Feast of dedication, the feast of Hanukkah. I know brothers meeting up. Here's one. Brothers meeting up.
Yeah, it's Prospective Temples.